Hi folks, I'm Hamza from Alpha Hunters and Alpha Shooters, and let me introduce you Riccardo Olivieri. He is the product manager at Beretta for hunting and competition firearms. So, and Riccardo, what's this new gun I see with you? This hunting rifle.
Thanks for the interview. Basically what you see here is the newest and latest innovation from Beretta. This basically is the BRX1, it's the name of the rifle. As you can see, it's just a rifle. It's a manual repeating rifle, only two movements to make a reload. So
it's a straight pull rifle. The bolt, it looks a bit like the bolt of a military rifle.
yes, I mean, as you first said before, straight pull or linear reloading system, whatever you want to call it, this basically is a rifle that, unlike any other bolt action rifle, in order to reload a chamber, around in a chamber, you only have to do two movements. So that's it. Basically, this is the cool thing about this rifle. So it's very fast, very easy to handle. The bolt is right above the trigger, so it's very intuitive to handle the rifle, as you already tried. One of the other things is basically we didn't do anything, we didn't invent anything new. We just took all the knowledge we had in Beretta from the manufacturing for many years of different military grade weapons, and we said, okay, we know how to do those military grade weapons. What we can take and learn from them to introduce into this new hunting platform. So as you can see, the closing mechanism and the bolt head is basically derived from a military design, which is being tested and everything. In fact, we did many tests like they do on the NATO for approval of some rifles. Where we do the same test, like drops minus 54 Celsius to plus 54 Celsius, endurance test, some obstruction test, everything that had to do any standard NATO rifle in order to be approved by the NATO. We tried to do it with this rifle, and we surpassed all the tests were possible. Of course, it's a manual repeating rifle. The tests are designed for some other, let's say, type of weapons, which mainly are automatic. So it's a very big bolt, and as you can see, one of the cool features about this new system is not only the system that is proven already, but it's the fact that you can change the rifle from a right hand configuration to a complete left hand configuration in seconds. I will show you right now, and without the use of basically not any special tool.
So the safety is a 3-position safety, works ambidextrous, and it's very easy to get the bolt to the left side of the gun.
As you can see here, yes.
Extractor, ejector.
The ejector, you can also switch from one side ejection, so you can choose the gun to eject from the left side or from the right side. As you can see, we have two colors here, white, red, and when you don't see any color when the gun is closed, it means that it's in complete safe position. So this means that the gun actually is blocked and trigger doesn't work. Second position, the trigger is disengaged, not blocked, is disengaged, the hammer is blocked, sorry, and you can operate the gun in total safety. So you can reload the gun in total safety, and then you have the fire and reload position where you can fire and reload.
Riccardo, would you show us to convert the gun to a left-handed version?
Very quickly, I just lift the bolt catcher, the bolt stop on the left side of the gun. Once I have the gun from the top, I will see my cam pin. I will push it all the way to the bottom, take the central part of the bolt out. We'll deal with that later. I turn it off, and you will see there's a small button here. I can use the tip of a bullet, a small branch, or even a pen, whatever. I just push it, and without too much force, I will switch the lever from one hand side to the other one till I hear that click. Now the other thing that I do is basically I just take my ball head, slide it like this, rotate it 180 degrees, and I will have changed my ejection side from one side to the other. Since this gun ejects in 180 degree, let's say, level, so no angle levels up or down, it's just ejecting this side, you can switch between one side or the other one without any other tool or easily. And this is something you could even do in the tree stand. I don't recommend it, but you can do it. And that's it. So we've now transformed this gun from a right hand configuration to a left hand configuration. Okay. So that's not all the different features about the gun. As you can see, we have this let's say optic mount cantilever system. It's a multi-caliber weapon. So basically what this means is that you take these two bolts out here, and I can change caliber.
So cantilever means the Picatinny rail comes with the gun and always stays on the barrel in case you want to swap the barrels or change calibers?
Exactly. So if you want to swap barrels and everything, the optic will always remain in the gun. So you can virtually take the one barrel out, use the other one, then re-put it in, and your sighting will be where it is. I mean, for hunting purposes, the variation is minimal. One other cool thing about the gun lever is once you close the bolt, you will have here a notch that engage the gun lever on the bottom to reduce as much as possible the vibration to a point where the scope will be vibrating more than the actual gun lever. So no worries for those of you that are not very fond of old style gun levers. It was all thought about. Everything that you see on the gun was thought about. Then another cool thing about is the magazine. In my opinion, this is one of my personal favorites. Basically because it's the bright color. You can see from far, you have like kind of a visual warning that you see that the gun could be potentially loaded, so you know the magazine is inserted. So this is a cool thing for safety reasons. This is very important. The other thing is, for example, if you lose it or if you have it in your bag, whatever, it's much easier to find because the bright color jumps to your eyes very quickly. And we have two buttons on the side, which are the ones we use for really taking the magazine very quickly, very instinctive, and not to drop it accidentally when you're walking in the forest or
in all calibers, even the Magnum calibers, it's always flush fit and it's always 5-round magazine.
Exactly, it's a 5+1 even Magnum calibers. So you can change in this configuration, which actually is a 308 to a 300 Winchester Magnum, just by changing the barrel, the bolt, and the magazine.
And you could top the magazine off right under the cantilever.
Yes,
mount.
you can load the rifle from the top, like all the old rifles, from the top, from a magazine, or you just can, if you are like shooting from a bench, you can put it in and just, close the bolt and it will go straight in. So there's three ways to reload the rifle potentially. One other last thing is very important is the bedding of the rifle, the shape, which is kind of a triangular shape, with the two bolts and the locking, the metal recoil lock, in the center, makes this a very, let's say, stiff and rigid bedding. Once you tie those two screws, we recommend not over 11 newtons of torque. It will always go to the same place, and you have a really good bedding that will always keep your rifle stiff, and you can see that in the accuracy.
So there is no added bedding material. It's always steel on aluminum alloy.
Yeah, and that's it. It's metal to metal, so to reduce everything. One other thing, I mean, we as Beretta are very famous for making barrels for over 500 years. This is how we were born, and part of the DNA is still of making, a product that is excellent with the best quality and performance that we can get. So in the case of the barrels, for those of you that reload or have a lot of experience with reloading or making barrels, in this case we can manufacture with a cold hammering forging machine not only the bore of the rifle but also the chamber. So this means that the bore and the chamber will be 100% concentric. So if you are one of those guys that like to reload, we guarantee 100% concentricity between the chamber and the actual bore. In this case, we have a 308 here, which barrel length is 57 centimeters. We will have available different barrel length.
All muzzles are threaded.
All muzzles are threaded. All of them are threaded. M14 muzzle thread with a barrel profile, very slim, 16 millimeters.
16 millimeters. That's a metric thread.
Yeah. M14. We don't have yet the 5.8
but they will get an imperial thread.
Yes, maybe we will get it depending on the barrel profile, but it's not possible on this one because it's too slim on the top. So it wouldn't be reliable to convert it to that.
Okay.
But we are working on some versions specifically for the US market and some other markets as well.
Okay.
I mean, last but not least, the trigger also, that's a very cool thing that we didn't mention before, is if I may get the same pen I had before, okay, sorry. Okay. So basically what we have here is
I think I got a little screwdriver, little army knife.
Perfect. So if we are like, example, in our shooting range and we wanna,
so you just lift up this little
tab. Lift up this little tab from the front or from the back, whatever is most comfortable with you.
And how to adjust the trigger?
I can adjust the trigger in 3 different weight sets without the use of any tool. The only tool I would need is this one in order to get the trigger group out, because since it's sitting in there, we need to hold it tight to the gun so it doesn't move.
What is the trigger weight?
So the trigger weights go from 950, between 950 and a kilo to over 1.5 kilos. This means that you know, since we're dealing here with springs, it's not that precise, but you can get a very nice crisp sensation when you're pulling the trigger, and it's what we call a single stage trigger. It will never be like a bolt action rifle, we know that, because it's a hammer fire.
So it's a hammer gun.
It's a hammer fire trigger. That's the system. So again, we go back to the knowledge we had in making military guns. The AR 7090, even the M1 Garand from right after the World War II, we've been making guns with this type of trigger. So it's something that we know how to do, so we improved it the best we can in order to obviously to hit the price point that we were looking and maintaining the quality and safety that we were looking. So as I said before, the price, as you will see, is very interesting, but it's not because we decided to make a product that was at a very good price.
Will there be sometime later an optional match
we have a lot of things on the oven, so yes, we will have different, let's say, systems. And as I was saying before, basically this is the result of a project that we've been working over 7 years, and I told you before, it's over 62,000 man hours working on the project. So the company really invested into starting the project and getting to the goal, which finally we did with this kind of product, where everything you see was thought. The quality is absolutely guaranteed, and as you can see, the gun is very easy to use, very easy to maintain. In the case something's happened here, just take one piece and drop one in.
Could you convert it to right hand?
Yeah, we'll do it one more time very quickly. So convert the head right here. So I have my bolt head that is ejecting right. So I go here, push the bottom, change the lever from one side to the other one, put this back in, and now I have my right-handed gun.
Quick.
So that's it.
So
that quick.
So what are my options with the stock of the gun? It's a polymer stock?
It's a polymer stock. As you can see, they may look all of this, but we have 7 different types of polymer inside the gun. It varies a little bit between the compounding and the mixing of the carbon fiber for the glass fiber that we use inside the polymer and everything. So there's a little variation. Every single piece was studied and everything just to do their job the best. What you will notice is also the finishing of the surface finishing on the polymers. It's unique. You get a more aggressive grip, not too aggressive, but just enough so you can hold the gun right here on the pistol grip and on the bottom of the gun. So if you're shooting either from a bench or standing or from your backpack in the mountain or a running board or whatever, you will have a perfect, let's say, hold of the gun. The pistol grip is obviously ambidextrous with a little bit of palm swell, so it really fits right in the hand. And we will have eventually, by the time of launch, a couple of different options.
So the pistol grip would be
changeable. Interchangeable, yeah. It's interchangeable, and we will be providing it on the.
And length of pull?
The length of pull in this case is 365 with a spacer of 12 millimeter and the 20 millimeter pad. So you can make it shorter by at least 12 millimeters without changing the pad, or you can go even more, even smaller if you want. Or you can use the same spacer that we use on our standard hunting shotguns to put it here, and you can extend the gun as much as you want. On the stock, of course. We will have available aftermarket a lot of accessories, so what we call the ecosystem of the gun, which means slings, gun cases, gun sleeves, different accessories, different rings for different scopes.
So I think you told me there's an optional a ticker style mounting system.
Yes, at the moment
available.
We are producing only the Picatinny style mounting solution, but we will have another one which copies the top of the Tikka with the standard 17 millimeter dovetail in the top, so you could use some of your let's say OptiLock or quick detachable scope rings. And we will have at the time of the launch also a proprietary quick release mount that is going to be shorter than the standard Picatinny. Is going to be only about the length of the action.
That will be quick detachable mount made by Beretta for the BRX1.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it's
And
going to be
more
a
compact than a standard Picatinny rail that's included with the gun.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it's more compact and it's going to be just designed to be a little bit also in line with the design. So you can use different optics. So for example, if you're hunting at dawn and you want to switch your scope to a thermal because it's completely dark, you can do it no problem. That's what it's meant for, that quick release mount. So you can have one mount and then different rings and you can put different scopes and play with it. The handling is very smooth. By having the weight concentrated between your hands, and this is something we also learned from the shooting and the Olympic shooter for clay shooters, you move the rifle better. And also when you're shooting the gun, the recoil is much in a straight line. So you will notice when firing this gun that actually the recoil feels different from any other kind of bolt action, and I can tell you that's because of the balance of the gun.
So it should balance and handle a bit like a well-balanced shotgun.
Exactly.
Weight between your hands. And by the way, what's the weight of the gun?
The weight of the gun is 3.3 kilos without any scope.
Without scopes,
Yes.
and I think probably with a 56
With
or
a
57.
57 centimeter barrel, correct.
Okay.
It will be available at launch in 3 calibers, 308, 3006 and 300 Winchester Magnum. And of course, being a multi-caliber gun, you will be able to buy the gun and eventually the conversion kit so we can play between calibers and switch on.
And for the conversion, I would need the barrel, the bolt head,
The barrel,
perhaps the bolt head, and
the bolt head. We decided that it must come with the barrel for some European regulations, and also just peace of mind to guarantee that the closing is perfect. Even if in reality, depending on the group of calibers, if you are, for example, the 6.5 Creedmoor, 243, 3006 and 308, you can use the same bolt head. When you go through Magnum calibers, then you will have to change the bolt head because you need 2 rows of fins on the bolt head, which is a stronger system. Okay, that's the only difference. But yes, you will. The conversion kit will be magazine, bolt head, and barrel.
okay.
I guess that's it.
Thank you for presenting to our viewers the new Beretta rifle. And when will it be available?
It will be available by October. Mid-October will be already available in all the stores in Europe. So you might see this video today and go to your local store and find the gun already there. So
Okay. Thank you, Ricardo.
thanks.
Thanks.